as you can see, on Amity Beach, we've had a massive bit of scaffolding go up. Now this, of course, draws the question, what on earth is this for?
This is our legacy.
Camera action.
Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is TheJackSilkstone. Oh yes, I am now back from Florida, where I of course visited the incredible Halloween Horror Nights. But as I said, as soon as I return to the UK, I'd be here at Thorpe Park, and that's where I am today, ready to bring you guys all of the exciting updates that have been taking place for this year's Fright Nights event. Because I've been away for about a week and a half now, so many things have happened here at the park, at all of the different Fright Nights attractions around the park, including something very exciting over on the beach over there, which I'll head to very shortly. But yeah, we're now in my absolute favourite time of the year. It's hoodies and shorts weather. Oh yes, it's starting to get a little bit colder, which of course means that Fright Nights is just around the corner. It's literally a matter of weeks to go now, which means construction is really coming along nicely. Now first of all today, I'm gonna head down to the brand new maze for this year, Survival Games. So let's go. Now, as I've shown many times on the channel now, the way in which you'll get to the brand new maze for 2022 here at Fright Nights will be here on Thorpe Island. You'll come just down here towards the toilet block and just through these wooden gates over here. Now you can get a great view of the construction taking place for Survival Games if you ride up on the Swarm, or if you go and queue for depth charge over around the corner. But yeah, if you do either of these things, essentially what you'll see are some black containers, which is very exciting. Thorpe Park haven't used containers at Fright Nights for a very long time. But the interesting thing about this is over the top of these containers, there's a khaki kind of roof, which makes it look like a kind of air hangar. And that's because this maze is basically being constructed with 2 rows of containers. And then yeah, there's a roof going over, which basically means that the amount of space that's going to be in this maze is more than ever before. Because previously you've only been able to go within containers in Fright Nights mazes. But yeah, there's now this whole extra area under this kind of big roof, which means it's going to be a huge maze, which makes sense because it is of course a free flow attraction where it's very likely that you'll be split up and you won't have to just stick to one path in this maze. You can choose different ways, the actors might put you down different routes. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one, and of course it is the biggest Fright Nights investment to date, so it's going to be a very exciting maze. But yeah, that is our first stop today, and that just shows how exciting all of the other construction is going to be. Oh yes, so it's always a massive moment in the Fright Nights updates when the Amity buses are finally put into place. And as you can see here in the Stealth Plaza, we have one of the buses. Currently, the other one isn't yet here. I don't know if it's going to be here this year, but yeah, we have at least got one of the buses. Now we've had a few changes this year in comparison to previous years. We've got a massive stage, which as you can see, stretches all the way in front of the bus. And then just behind the bus, we actually have a huge lighting rig with loads and loads of moving heads, which basically means the lights can flash around in any direction. But yeah, it's all very exciting. It's always a huge moment when the buses come in. It's kind of the midpoint of the construction updates because it means that all of the big stuff starts to happen. So yeah, it's very exciting that the bus is here. I've just noticed there's a little cat looking at me. I've never noticed that before. That's very cool. And yeah, as well as the buses, of course, we've also had the lighting trusses put in just at the other end of the plaza, where I'm sure we'll have some lights going up there as well to shine down on this year's Amity High and Lycan graduation year flash mob. Oh yes. So one of the things I'm most excited to show you in today's update is just behind me. It's the construction for this year's brand new scare zone, Death's Doors. And as you can see, we've had some beautiful new fencing banner designs put into place where it says Nightmares in the Making, which is very, very cool to see. But yeah, essentially behind these barriers, as you can see, we've had so much construction for this brand new scare zone. Essentially, what we've had built is a massive, I don't even know how tall that is, I'd say about, it's nearly twice the size of me, which is like 10, 12 foot. And yeah, as you can see, this is going to be what I presume will be the entrance to the zone with a giant keyhole where you'll head into, because this zone is kind of loosely based off of the locksmith, who of course appeared in all of the promo videos. And yeah, essentially you're going to be knocking on doors in this area, and there's going to be different kind of monsters within the zone. But yeah, it's a big old bit of construction. My best bit of advice to kind of see what's going on in there is to ride Nemesis Inferno, because as you can see, it literally goes around the entire scare zone. So you might be upside down, but if you just look to your left, you can have a great view of this new zone. But yeah, it's very, very exciting indeed. I can't believe just how tall this wall is for a scare zone as well. I love how much the scare zones have been elevated at the park this year. It's gone from things like Amity, where there was just kind of characters walking around, to now full-on construction and buildings taking place in these zones. For example, with this and the Crows of Mawkin Meadow, which I'll head to in just a second. But yeah, I'm very, very excited for this one. I'll just head around the corner and see if you can see anything from kind of the birthday bash or Oktoberfest area. But yeah, it's very, very exciting indeed. I think the main thing to take from this construction is that what I was expecting this kind of neighborhood that they were creating to be was basically just a straight line where you'd have doors on either side. But no, it seems like it's going to be a bit more of a kind of windy route around the area, with doors kind of here, there and everywhere for you to knock on. It's probably one of, if not my most anticipated thing for this year's Fright Nights. I just can't believe the size of some of the walls in there. It's absolutely humongous. As I said, it's like double the height of me just on the other side of these trees. Now obviously with the other kind of Fright Nights editions in this area, we've got Birthday Bash, which of course can't start construction until Oktoberfest is over and done with. And then just down the end of this path, we've of course got trailers, which will pretty much remain the same since Bozo's, but it has had its new sign, well, its original sign I should say, put back into place. Now over here in Old Town, unfortunately there's not a whole lot of construction to discuss in regards to the Creek Massacre, the final cut, because at the moment we're presuming that the entrance to the maze, according to the Project Exodus, obviously the brand new roller coaster that's due to be in this area's documents, was supposed to be where you kind of entered platform 15 in the past few years. So we're expecting kind of a bridge to be built over the Loggers Leap Trough. However, as you can see, currently we've had no construction taking place down there. So I'm not sure if they may be changing their mind on how you're going to enter Creek this year. You might end up perhaps entering in this kind of area, or even just around the corner down there. But at the moment, we're not too sure, and not a lot seems to be happening for Creek Massacre's final year. So not a whole lot to talk about over here. But yeah, of course, we do also have Creek Unchained as the roaming team, who are going to be going around the entire park this year. Don't know if they're going to have chainsaws or if they're just going to be the buckwheats with like their axes and stuff. But I don't know, I'm hoping they have chainsaws so they can literally cause chaos around the entire park. So over here in the Saw the Ride Plaza, as you can see, we've had some cool construction boards go up with a Big Up Unique Concepts logo down there in the corner. But yeah, the biggest thing for me to point out, and it's something that I didn't notice for quite a while, an embarrassing amount of time I should say, is that the big old post that had the Saw the Ride sign on it has been removed. It took me so long to realise that it had been taken out. But yeah, it's now gone. But does the fact that this pole has been removed suggest that maybe the zone will be starting a little bit earlier this year? But of course, in last year's Fright Nights, you entered Mawkin Meadow right down by where that Saw Alive sign is. So the fact that they've taken out this pole just here, does that suggest that maybe they will have more actors in this kind of area in Mawkin Meadow this year? As you can see, we've got some construction taking place with some kind of blue thing over in that corner as well as a big old construction vehicle in there. Now I'm going to head over to Colossus and down where the carnival took place this year to see if I can get any other views of this area. But yeah, it's definitely an exciting one and things are definitely happening here at the Crows of Mawkin Meadow. So the Crows of Mawkin Meadow is looking very, very exciting indeed just behind me. Now up from Colossus, you can actually see that they've started putting all of the hay along the side of the fence, just like they did last year for the Crows of Mawkin Meadow. However, as you can see, that blue thing that I spotted from the Saw the Ride Plaza is actually some kind of container that seems to have been put just into the corner of the Saw Alive old queue line. Not too sure what's going on there. However, another thing that I've noticed, and one that you can see very clearly from here, is that loads and loads of new lighting and speakers have been put down this path, with one of them just on the other side of this fence here. Now that is very exciting because obviously a huge part of the Crows of Mawkin Meadow last year was the lighting and the audio in that area. It was something that the park had never really done in a scare zone before, and it's something that it looks like they're taking to another level over at their stores. But yeah, obviously Mawkin Meadow looks so gorgeous last year with all of the lighting, and it seems like this year they're just elevating this zone even higher, which is really cool to see. So the things that are going to take place, I imagine, before I film my next construction update, is we'll start to see all of the hay start being put into this area, the kind of barrels and extra theming, and who knows, we might even see some construction taking place in that Saw Alive queue line, because hopefully something is going on there for this year's Crows of Mawkin Meadow scare zone. Fingers crossed. But yeah, if I flip the camera just around, as you can see, this entire area has now been fenced off. It's interesting because at last year's Oktoberfest, this was one of like the main areas where everything was going on. However, this year it's the complete opposite. It's completely desolate. And yeah, this is of course where Terminal, the brand new scare audio experience, is going to be taking place. Now, when this was first announced, people weren't too sure about what to expect with it. However, seeing the reviews come in over the past few weeks of different dark field experiences, it seems like people are getting really hyped for this. Essentially, if you don't know, Thorpe Park are collaborating with Darkfield, who specialise in audio experiences. So they've done loads of other kind of events around the country and other attractions that people have experienced before. But yeah, this is the first time Thorpe Park have ever used this company, and it's the first time they've ever kind of implemented an audio experience at a Fright Nights event. So yeah, it's very, very exciting indeed, and I'll keep you guys up to date when we get any kind of construction taking place in this area. I suspect we'll have a number of kind of shipping containers placed in this location, which is very exciting. Now at this point I've shown you all of the construction taking place at the attractions that have been announced for this year's Fright Nights. However, just to the side of me, as you can see on the beach, we've had a bit of construction. So let's take a look. As you can see, on Amity Beach, we've had a massive, massive bit of scaffolding go up. Now this of course draws the question, what on earth is this for? Because as I said, I've shown you all of the things that have been announced. There were of course 9 doors in that corridor with an announcement behind each one. So what the hell is going on here? Well, the biggest bit of speculation at the moment is that this could be the return of the brand new show at last year's Fright Nights, Legacy. Now of course that show took place on the beach just over there, and the stage was kind of like a birthday cake theme for the park's 20th birthday. However, this year, obviously, we've had this scaffolding put up on this beach, and yeah, as you can see, this scaffolding kind of looks to be in the shape of an eye, which is of course a massive bit of kind of speculation and teaser work for this year's Fright Nights. But yeah, it hasn't been announced. However, it very much looks like we could have a Legacy returning to this year's event, which is so cool because it's another thing to do here at Fright Nights on top of all of the announcements that have already come. So yeah, let me head around and I'll show you it from this different angle. But yeah, this literally popped up over the past few days when the park was closed, which of course makes sense because they would have given them time to kind of have access to the beach and build all of it that's going on. But yeah, obviously last year, Legacy took place on this beach. You used to enter through this gate. You could go and watch it kind of on the beach over there. However, as I said, this year it's been changed over to this side where presumably you'll be able to enter through here and you won't have to stand on the sand this year. You should be able to watch it from the kind of area where normally during the summer there would be water. And yeah, of course, you also might be able to get a view from up here, which is even cooler because last year this area was closed off when Legacy happened. I'm not too sure why. But yeah, this year you could be able to get an elevated view of this show, which is so exciting. Now obviously I could be chatting absolute rubbish because at the moment nothing has officially been announced about this, and until Thorpe Park confirm what it's actually going to be, you know, don't take my word for anything, but I mean it's looking very likely that we could be seeing the return of Legacy, however being done in a very different way. I mean, people had mixed opinions on last year's Legacy, so it seems like they're definitely changing it up this year, if that's what it's for, of course. So yeah, we could be seeing a new show, new lighting sequences, a completely reworked thing for this year, if it gets announced. So that brings me to the end of today's Fright Nights update. Oh my god, I'm so happy to be back in the UK now, ready to cover the entire rest of construction that's going to be taking place for this year's Fright Nights event. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to the channel to be notified as soon as I upload any more Fright Nights, and of course Project Exodus, the park's brand new roller coaster project, videos here on the channel. And yeah, otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. My name's Jack Silkstone. Good